everyone, welcome back to today's video and welcome to day 11 of my 12 days of Christmas. I cannot believe we are on day 11. I personally did not even think that I would get to day 11 if I'm being 100% honest. I didn't think I would be able to get this far, so I can't believe it's over. It's kind of that like weird feeling of like, I didn't think I would get here. I'm a little relieved because it's been kind of stressful. Like I feel like I said the exact same thing in the last couple days worth of videos. But it's also like kind of sad. I kind of enjoyed doing it and making a video and putting it out there every single day. So anyway, for today, this is going to be a little bit of a different kind of video. Today, I really wanted to focus on like a general concept and kind of my tips and tricks on how I like to decorate our clear tiny treat boxes. So it's kind of less focused on here are some exact products to use and the end result that you can get. Like when I create a card, it's here are the exact products you have to use to get this end result. This is more so focused on, like I said, my tips and tricks and the ways that I've found that work the best for me to decorate these little treat boxes. So before we get into the video, this being my 11th day in my 12 days of Christmas, I have another giveaway. So for today, the giveaway is going to be this like embellishment pack that I put together. So these are just 3 of the things that I've really been loving using lately. The first thing are our basic adhesive backed sequins. So there are, I want to say 4, there are like 3 or 4 different colors. I'm trying to see through the thing. I think it's 3 maybe, 3 or 4 different colors of sequins. They already have adhesive on the back of them. One of my favorite embellishments to use. I use them all the time. I'm also including the red rhinestone basic jewels. I used these in my Ride With Me video, which I don't remember which day that was off the top of my head. But these are great. They're really, really functional, very versatile. You can use them for a ton of different things. And then I'm also including the jingle bells. I used this in a video a couple days ago when we did our little curvy keepsake boxes. That was one of the little things that we hung on the tags. And these are great. You would think, oh, I can only use those for Christmas, but you can't. You can just split up the colors like red. Valentine's Day is right around the corner. The red and gold is going to work perfect for those types of projects. So these are really, really versatile. You may not think that they are, but they are. And even if it's just for Christmas, it's just one of those fun little things to add to a project to kind of step it up a notch. They would be really cute on the little box that we're decorating to wrap like some baker's twine around them and hang a couple. Absolutely adorable. I think that would be super cute. So that's the giveaway for today. To enter, click on the coordinating blog post, which is the first link in the description box below. And also just kind of a reminder that I do still have a couple other giveaways that are active. They'll be active for another couple of days, I believe, if I remember correctly, for how long I set them out for. So if you're interested in a paper share, I'm giving away 2 of those. What's the other thing that I'm giving away right now that's already active? Let me check. Oh, the other thing is the Winter Knit embossing folder, which is absolutely gorgeous, by the way. If you haven't checked that out, you absolutely need to. That one's really, really pretty. So those giveaways are still going on top of this one. And then there may or may not be another giveaway to wrap up day 12 tomorrow. So I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I'll leave it up to you to decide, or just come back and check out tomorrow's video. So that's giveaway for today. To get into today's project, like I said, I'm not really focusing on the actual project or the products that we're using. It's more of just the concept and the tips and tricks. So just to kind of show you guys what I am going to use today. This is the striped ribbon in shaded spruce and gold. Absolutely gorgeous. It's so pretty, and it's like the perfect width of ribbon for these little tiny boxes. I want to say, how thick is this? This is 3/8 inch ribbon. So pretty, and like I said, literally the perfect width, I think. So this is just what I happened to grab to use for today. Use whatever you have on hand, make it your own. Again, this is really just kind of conceptual things to do, not necessarily you have to use these exact products. And then you are going to need some kind of paper. I would recommend using a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. You can use 6 by 6 pieces and kind of push them, or not push them together, but kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? you can piece them together. That's the word I was looking for. You can kind of piece 6x6 pieces together. I'm not going to be doing that today just because it is a little more difficult. I just try to find 12x12 paper that I like using, and then that's what I end up using. So we're going to cut this down. I'll talk to you all about the dimensions and stuff when we actually get into it. I am going to be using tear and tape. It's just what I find works best for projects like this. And then as well as the tear and tape, you're going to need our little treat boxes. You are also going to need some kind of cutting and scoring tool. I like to use our paper trimmer because it has the cutting and scoring blades right on it. You can use another paper trimmer and use our scoreboard if you want that, or whatever you have on hand. I just happen to like using our trimmer, so that's what I'm going to use today. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Okay, so let's start off by talking about the paper and getting our paper ready, because I personally feel like that's the most difficult part. If you were to take one of these little boxes and a ruler, and that's how I started out trying to figure out what works best, you will find that each side of the box is 2 inches by 2 inches. So 2 inches, there are 4 sides to the box. You would think, okay, I'm going to cut my piece of paper at 8 inches. If you do that, what I've found is there's always a little tiny gap. And it's not much. There's just always that little tiny gap that doesn't completely cover the paper, or I'm sorry, cover the box. So what I do is I cut my paper at 8.5 inches as far as the dimension to get it fully around the little box. To get this width, this is the width that I personally really like to cover up the box, because you still leave a little bit of the clear so people can see what's inside of it. But you cover up quite a bit of the box. So I like to cut it at 1.5 inches. So my paper is going to be 8.5. Is that what I said? Yeah, 8.5 by 1.5 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that right now. So I'm going to start with my 1.5. 1.5 by 8 inches, or I'm sorry, 8.5. I don't know why I keep messing that up. I'm acting like this is the first time I've ever done this. So 8.5 by 1.5. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna score. So I'm gonna score my paper at 2 inches. And then again at 4 inches. And then again at 6 inches. And I promise you that is the most difficult part of doing all of this. So now what I'm going to do is flip this over, and I'm going to take my tear and tape. And I like to do the shorter edges first, just because I feel like those are the most important to get your box or your paper to stick really nicely to your box. So I do the shorter edges first. Just like that. And then I'll go in and do the longer edges. And for the longer edges, I just kind of eyeball it. And then if I need to cut it, I'll cut it. Just like that. And then one more for the other long edge. Just like so. And like I said, you don't have to use tear and tape. I've always used tear and tape just because I like it as like my really strong adhesive, but you can use whatever. Like I said, it's just what I've chosen to use. So once I have my tear and tape on my paper, now I'm gonna go in and just with my fingers, I don't make it too crazy, but I just pinch down and fold where those score lines are. That's what I find works the best. Again, you can kind of take this and play with it and make it your own. Next, what I'm going to do is go ahead and put together my little treat box. So one thing to note about these is they do come with this like protective film on them. That's just to keep them nice and clean and not get scratched up while you just have them hanging around. So the first thing I always do is remove that. Sometimes you get these little like stray bits that you want to make sure you remove. And then you want to open the box up. So when you have it like this, it's kind of folded in half. I like to pinch it, open it, and then fold it the exact same, just the opposite way. And then you can kind of play with it. And then you want to fold in all of the bottom pieces. And then the top pieces just to crease them really nicely. Just like that. I like to go ahead and put the little flap in the top while I'm putting together the bottom. So I will be honest, I don't know the actual best way to put together the bottom. What I do, and I'm trying to remember how I do this because it's already kind of done for me, is pull this out. So I take so you have the two little flaps here that are the same. I push those in, and then you have one piece that kind of has like a rectangle on it, and then you have another piece that has like a rectangle cut out of it. I take the piece that has the rectangle, push that down. Sorry, that's not what I'm doing. The piece that has the rectangle kind of cut out of it, I push that down, and then I slip in, hang on. Yeah, there we go. And then I slip in the piece that does have the rectangle and then push these little tails in. It's kind of hard to explain on camera, I'm not gonna lie. You just kind of have to go at it and kind of manipulate it until you get the what you're looking for. And again, this might not even be the best way to fold this box. It's probably not. It's just what I've always done that seems to work for me. So now that I have my little box constructed, I'm going to take my paper and I'm just going to wrap it around my box. And then you'll see here, so like I was talking about that little tiny gap, if we were to have just cut our paper at 8 inches, you would have this little tiny gap right here where there was no paper. And if you don't care about it, it's not that big of a deal, just leave it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my box down, and where my extra little flap is, because we cut that extra 1/2 inch, I'm just going to fold this and I'm just going to crease it with my fingers and then take my box away and just crease it a little bit more. And this way what's going to happen is when we wrap our box, if I wrap it the right way, okay, sorry about that. There was a dog barking outside and they decided that they also needed to bark. As I was saying, now that I have this extra little bit, I put it on the bottom, and I'll show you when I take the tear and tape off and do all of this. I put it on the bottom and it covers up that tiny, tiny, tiny little seam there. Like I said, some people may not even care about it and you may just put it down and be done with it. I just think it gives like that really nice finish to the box. So now what I'm going to do is take my tear and tape, and I just kind of like to be prepared. So this is the front of my box, and so when I do this, I'm going to put it like this, and I just want to make sure that I'm prepared. The dog outside is still barking. I think we're done now. I think we're done. So like I was saying, I just like to be a little bit prepared. So one of the two inner rectangles is what I like to put on the front so that my seam is in the back. Again, just personal preference. You don't have to do it that way. I just think it gives a more finished, clean look to the box, but you can do it however you want. Now I'm just going to take my Take Your Pick tool and take the backing off of all of my pieces of tear and tape here. And the other thing to be cautious of is if your designer series paper has a certain direction that the pattern goes in, you want to make sure that you're prepared for that and that you flip the paper whichever direction that you want it to go in. So again, this is the front of my box, and that's just kind of where I like to start. And then I just kind of center it and I push it down, and you just kind of have to do it. It's one of those things. And then what I like to do, so this side has the two full pieces, and then this side has the one side and then our extra little tail here. I like to put this little extra piece down first. So you just kind of push it down and it'll fall right into place. And then I just like to make sure that I line up on the back here, that the everything lines up really nicely. And that's it. That's how I put the designer series paper on. I promise you, that sounded like a lot of steps and it sounded like it was really complicated. When you're actually doing it and not talking through it like I am, it's really, really, really simple. It goes by in a second, not hard at all. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you guys, because what I normally do is do a belly band. That's kind of the technical term for this, is a belly band around the box, and then I'll put some ribbon and tie a bow like I did on this one. That's normally how I decorate these boxes. It's just like I said, what I like, personal preference, what works for me. So I'm going to show you guys my kind of trick for tying ribbon around the box. So I like to just get some ribbon, and then I just eyeball where it should be. So this is way too much. I like to give myself a little bit of extra just because I know me, and I know that I sometimes can struggle with tying a bow. So now that I have the length of ribbon that I want, I fold it in half and I just crease it in the middle there. Then I'll open this back up, and I'll take another piece of Tear and Tape, and this is kind of my main tip or trick here, is I put a little tiny piece of Tear and Tape at the back of my ribbon. And what this allows me to do, so I'm now just going to take this is the front of my box, so I'm going to put this on the back of my box, in the middle. And what this is allowing me to do is really easily wrap the ribbon around the rest of the box. So it looks like I literally just wrapped it around the box and I magically have it staying in place, when in reality I have this little piece back there to make sure that it doesn't wiggle around. My other tip when tying my ribbon, so I'm going to tie it, I just tied it first, but it's still loose. Some people just go ahead and tie their bow just from here. I don't like to do that. I tie a knot in this first, make it really secure, and then I go in and I tie my bow. Again, it's just one of those little tips that makes tying the bow and making it look really nice a lot easier. And then you just tie your little bow. Sometimes you do have to wiggle it and twist it around a little bit because it is a knot versus just a tied bow on there, but you can kind of twist it around, make it look nice and pretty. And then if you're like me and need to give yourself a lot of extra room, you can cut off your little tails there. If you find that, sometimes I do find that my bow just isn't sitting down right, you can flip it over, and where the little knot is on the back, just put a glue dot there, and then you can actually stick it down in place where you want it to go. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. It is a little bit different from what I normally do. Like I said, it really more was about the technique and the tips and the tricks to decorate the box, or the way that I like to decorate the box. But I hope you guys enjoyed it and hope you can get some good use out of it. So that's it for today's video. Don't forget that if you want to win this embellishment pack or any of the other things that I'm giving away right now, you can go to littlemooncreation.com and look at all of my blog posts. If you want to purchase any of these products, 24/7, you can go to littlemooncreation.stampinup.net. And then other than that, I will see you guys in tomorrow's video, which is day 12 of my 12 days of Christmas. I cannot believe it. So I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye!